We started Transform Church with a dream and desire to reach new people with the good news of Jesus. My wife Crystal and I are from this area, and we've moved back to this area, and we've always wanted to start a new church. We would love to reach broken people, whether they know it or not. And so since the beginning, Transform has been about helping people find hope in Jesus and transformation in life. That began the process of building what we called the launch team. And God brought us 97 kids and adults to help get Transform off the ground. Everybody together with the same purpose, serving, giving, inviting to help Transform get a good, solid start. We officially launched Transform Church October 6th of 2019. 300 people came to the grand opening, and we were off to the races. Within the first 5 weeks of the church, 8 people had made first-time decisions for Christ, and 78 new families had visited the church. Our volunteers would arrive at 7:30 in the morning to unload this huge trailer of all of our stuff into the middle school. We'd set up the kids area, the cafe, the auditorium, and sometimes it was freezing cold. We'd have to de-ice our locks before we could even get into our own trailer. But our volunteers did it with a smile on their face, at least when I was looking. And we had a great time together because we wanted to be ready for who God was going to bring through the doors of Transform Church. And then COVID happened. And on a Friday night, we had to cancel church for the following Sunday. Little did we know that that would be our first of 14 weeks of online services only, including Easter, our very first Easter together as a church. By God's grace, we weathered the storm well, and we found new ways to serve our community. We gave out free Caribou coffee to doctors and nurses, anybody in the medical field. We gave out a free meal to essential workers in our community. It was an exciting time to be able to give hope in what seemed to be such a hopeless time. It wasn't the way that we had planned for our first year to go, but our ways are not God's ways, and He knew exactly what Transform needed and what Transform was going to do during this time. Once we got to summer, the question was, do we open Transform, and what does that look like? We decided to open with outdoor services, so we started June 21st, Father's Day, at Sunshine Park in Andover, and it ended up being great. God gave us amazing weather, 13 out of 14 weeks with no rain. We had new families come to the park every week. We had our very first baptism service at Sunshine Park. We had a great time outside worshiping God, and our city got to see us do it. We also had our first Intro to Christianity Transform School class. 30 people took the class and graduated at the end of it. It ended up being an amazing summer. COVID significantly changed our summer plans and also our plans for the fall. Anoka Hennepin schools were not ready for churches to come back into their buildings, and so we had to figure out something different, but God had another plan. There was a beautiful church building about a mile up the road from where we were previously meeting, and they haven't been having services for some time. On Sunday, September 27th, we moved back inside for the first time in 6 months. In just 1 year, we've seen 18 people make first-time decisions to follow Christ. We've seen lives changed. We've seen relationships restored. And we've seen people connect to the church that have never connected to another church before. This has been quite the year to plant a brand new church. But God has been good to us, and I believe our best days are still ahead for Transform Church.